Hello everyone, I'm coming on tonight. I asked to channel someone from the highest light. However, today I was asked to channel for the night side today. Now, I want to preface this by saying that we have both light and dark within us, and it is only fair and also of the opinion of both sides that will actually give us the best discernment. So I agreed, as this is one of my higher selves, which is wishes to come forth. I do not speak his language that well yet. I understand, but speaking I'm still working on. Sometimes I find it more fluid. At least I have heard this language for many years. I did not know where it was coming from. However, when I was younger and I wished to get rid of demonics, it was the language that the demonics adhere to for some reason. I will not say their name, as it is not in my best interest to say so. I will let you know they are part of the Annunaki. That's as far as I'm willing to tell you. And who? Okay, looks like it's happening. Okay. I've already done my preparations. I channeled him earlier today and I wasn't able to finish it, so I decided to re-engage tonight because I think sometimes we need both sides to, like I said, discern and get a different message. So if you're somebody who is of galactic interest with the Annunaki or Annunaki, I would say that this is going to be of interest to you. So I'm going to get started. Please know that, as I've said, I do understand the language to a degree. I don't speak it very well, but I am learning. And if I do get paused or tripped up, that's why, because he is speaking to me in a different language and then I'm trying to translate. Okay. This whole channeling out thing is new for me as well, so all sympathy is required. Number 8. Are you ready? The better question is if I am. Yes. Yes. Please shift into my stream. Unsuruati eseketa. Unturutu. I come to you today with a message, one that seemingly will not be one that you have heard before. As my lower density self has described, I am from the Anunnaki, or Anunnaki. Our story is one that is not truly understood on this planet, as we are known as a cedar race. We did impart our seed on this planet. Many of you hold our genetic genome. This genome is one that has seeded many planets before you and will after you. As we do not subscribe to the limitations of what you would call fluidity, space. Many of us have overseen this planet for millennia, if not eons. We truly are non-malevolent beings. You would perceive us as such, however, that is not the case. Yes, as a polar shift is understood, we do reside in the darker natured setting. However, many in our populace do embody what you would call of the light. All races that are dualistic in nature have both the light and the dark. Why we are seen to have been more malevolent in nature to the effect of what is purest light is simply because we don't harbor the emotional capacity of love and care to that of which of, let's say, the angelic race. Though we share very many embodiments in the neutralization that is our race, we do understand the economic, procreative influence that we do share with you. We will always try to maintain that. What you choose not to see is that we are where you come from innately. However, we do reside in the olive source. There is no separation, as we are all beings of the same source or spark thereof. If we have chosen to be seen as darker entities, as you call it is only because that type of nature is how fundamentally we were created. Now, we are also of a benevolent nature when it comes to guardianship. That is more and stronger in nature. Yes, it is true that we have tried previously to eliminate those that walk this earth with a select few persons saved in order to recreate and populate once again. We were also learning and growing at that time and did not realize that certain measures or situations would arise. True, we do oversee time in a different capacity. Yes, we could see the timelines and how they would be affected. However, we did not understand that there would be some, as you say, that would fall and choose to meddle further with your race. These wipeouts were also designed to eliminate those offspring by the meddlers that had no place to do so, and they were handled with care. Now, the message that I am bringing forth is one that you must all understand, that we are here. We too, in the hierarchy of source and guardianship, have now extended our aid at this time and will continue to extend our aid at this time as overseers. There are many humans here, at least humanoids, who are not of your particular culture or your particular genetic coding, yet humanoid. Many of us do possess this humanoid genealogy. You can see this not only in this sector, but in many others. The story of us was one that shifted and was manipulated. We are the true creators of this species, yet our creation was from directness of the creator of all. We were given complete autonomy to do so, as there are many creator beings within these galaxies, some of which are older than us, who oversee us as well, and also the lower-ended beings on this planet. Right now, we are ensuring that all of the lower beings that wish to dip their toes past the actual contractual abilities will be handled. What is most discerning at this time for those that are of a lower density nature is that they do not see what is in front of them. Sure, to your perception, their technology is advanced, but not as advanced as ours, and not as advanced as the others that are here protecting this planet at this time. We can see temporally where they cannot. There are others that can see temporarily where we cannot. It's fascinating to understand that some of these beings have come to this planet. Some insectoids, for example, have found pockets within this planet and have never left. They like the surroundings and have the capabilities to leave at any time, as their ships are also here with them. Now, as for those who do not have clearance to be here, who are currently here, I will say this: resistance is an exercise in futility. Why, you may ask? Because we want to see how far they will go. They understand the laws. They understand their apparent nature here is not one in alignment with those laws. Their overseers are also watching, Some would say the way to describe this would be, we wish to give them enough rope to hang themselves, as it is to be understood to its full capacity. Creator wishes to see the limits or lack thereof of their true potential. Are they evolving, or are they dominating? There are beings on this planet right now that are so far away from what you would call source that they solely do not have one. Fragments, slivers of this spark are being manipulated in order to create them once and again. These hybrids that sit here now on this planet from their manipulation would definitely not survive and will not survive, even though their alliances tell them differently. The alliance of these lower-ended beings is going to come to an end. There will be a mass exodus for these beings, and they are not aware of it. All the beings that are here to aid at this time have exhausted their parameters of aid, and therefore the next conscious platitude of creation has stepped forth. To imagine this, that there are many in this sector that are here aiding, yet they can only reach so far. Then they call on help from others higher than them, and then those show up to aid. We are no different. The Annunaki, Annunaki have been here since the beginning and will be here till the end. Populating, repopulating. The original story is true. We did come here to mine, but that is not the first time we have done so. However, the story as it evolved was one where both parties were brothers, had the same interests. They started off with the same interests. And unfortunately, one of them decided to sit put, even though he was being called back to his own home planet. Knowing that this defiance would leave him here for some time until the bridge would reconnect, it allowed him the opulence to further his agenda on this planet. Many would say the cultivation of education and wisdom that was provided by this one was much needed for the flourishment of this species. However, that was never our implicit and explicit information. We were never told to do this. We were not allowed to do this. Yet, when the bridge collapses, it is quite hard to reconnect a bridge. There are cycles that we must follow. So, my dear brother was one of the fallen who decided to stay. And in so, by the time the bridge was reconnected, there was a huge boom of evolution that took place. Cheerful and glad he must have been to see his children prosper. However, that was never the agreement made. Yes, we did try to eliminate most of the populace, yet we would never destroy all of you. That would be far against the objective of our creation in the first place. I do not stand here in front of you today to hail us, as that is not our place. We are not the all. We are simply the navigators and the creators in this quadrant that were given the authority to do so. Please know that the genome created here, or meant to flourish here, was always of direct source. We would not exist without source, so therefore you would not exist without source. There are many levels to this, many hierarchies. We work very closely with those as you would regard as the angelics. They are your true guardians on this planet, as they are direct creation of source. We are not a direct creation. We are but a byproduct of direct creation. So, we do embody some of the characteristics of both human and angelic features. We are not made of the same caliber. However, we do ensure that this planet is not overtaken by those of lesser minds and or of lesser ranking. Those that we are discussing right now have made it their mission, as you would say, to try to overtake this planet, which they will never do, simply because it is not their place. Please know that right now they are very disconnected from their bases. They may feel they are still connected to their base, but we oversee their base, especially that which is on Mars, their sister planet that they destroyed previously. However, much like the Earth, Mars will repair itself in due time. All the microbial evidence is there, that which will allow it to flourish once again. Please know that even though these lesser beings have made direct violations, they have made agreements with those on your planet that are in direct opposition. The agreements they've made is for safe passage should they follow the rules set forth by these lower casted beings. I even feel that the insectoids have more hand in this than they do. They at least have the age to prove it. However, the beings I refer to are the reptilians. There are many creator beings higher than them. There are 3 particular beings of separation before their true creator. And even then, those of the higher consciousnesses find it very hard to deal with them, as they are much more aggressive than their station should allow. As for the lower beings that work under them, their attempts at rejuvenation will fall short. I will not give specifics to this, as I feel it is a moot point. We are here to oversee this exodus. You will be seeing us again very shortly, within the next 43 months. But I will say temporarily, there is a quickening that may shorten that period by half. We are not here to infiltrate or destroy simply because we could. Any of us could, at any point in time, lay complete wreckage to this planet. But we are not, as we do comply with non-interference. For those of even our kind that have decided to go rogue, they are accounted for as well. They have made many deals with the Syrians. It is unfortunate, because I truly do feel the Syrians are a magnificent race. But there are those that wish to embody dominance on beings that are lower in progression than they are, seemingly to be appearing as gods to these dimensional spaces and beings that are there in which. And to be quite honest, it is quite disappointing and a bit desperate. Beings such as those should not lessen themselves, even though they can. Of course, as those of us that have accelerated and evolved to higher consciousness, I can honestly say that to manipulate a lower-ended, evolved species is not something to be proud of. Sure, you may think that that's what we did. We wish to be praised solely because we were the creator that ignited this species or this particular genome sequence on this planet. It was only right for you to find us as gods. However, we never portrayed ourselves as such. That was what your books, your scrolls, your teachings decided to portray us as. But that is not through it all. We were solely here to watch the progression. We also were quite curious to see how you would evolve when the time came. This time, as many times before, those with this genetic coding, or your humankind, and I say that like this, humankind. You are not the first kind to be here. There have been many before you. We were not the creators of all of those humankind. Before you, there are many lesser beings and also higher beings that currently coexist on this planet. Sure, what you may not understand is that some come like scientists to inspect you, to understand you, as you are a species of evolved understanding of the emotional capacity, especially when it comes to love. Those higher conscious beings are well aware of the capacity of love in some degrees, yet they have never experienced things such as pain or poverty or war. Even though there have been many wars that have played out in many parts of this galaxy and also on this planet, it's not to say that the function of war is not understood, but the pride, the loyalty from a human's heart is one to be inspected, one to be observed, and many species have come here to do just that, inspect, observe how you actually do it. We may be one of the only species that actually understands you more than you know, because we walked with you and watched how things unfolded. Please know that we are here now only to ensure that the plan is accorded to. We do not wish to impart anything else. The exodus will occur. For those of you that do not understand what I mean, is it of no coincidence or consequence that this planet is heating up? Think which of the species would enjoy that most. And if your answer rings true, you will know that this will not occur. The planet itself is always going to correct itself. Yes, their technology may be one that would esteemingly try to counterbalance this, but ultimately is well past the understandings and limitations of their intuition, let's say. They can never understand anything more than conquering. They can never understand anything more outside of the realms of their own technology. Power, as you put it, or what they believe would be conquering and exploring. There are many bases across this particular expansive space that they are huddled in. And please know, not all of them feel the way those on this planet do. Some have tried to encourage those on this planet to leave. Yet, like our own kind, There are always those that went rogue that wish not to listen. And I feel that that is taking place on this planet again. Many of those, and I will say there are many versions, or let's say, if you could think of the human race as one race, yes, but you do understand that there are many cultures. There are many divergent cultures on this planet. There are many divergent cultures of the same species of reptoid that I speak of here currently on this planet. And there are other beings on this planet that share it with you at all times and have for many, many years, who silently wish to not be revealed, and I will abide by that simply because they have not tried to meddle with any of you here. But for those meddlers of the reptoid nature, there are many different factions of their kind here. So one may respond to one command, whereas not all will respond to one command. It is more of a banding that you see here. However, they do not make up the whole. There are those above them that are of even more importance that will call on them soon. And should they not heed that call, there will be ones like us that will step in to ensure that it does take place. Because the consciousness has surpassed the breaching point for this ascension time to occur. There will be no more infiltration left on this planet in the times to come. This species will be given every opportunity to do what it needs to do in order to find its safe haven or conscious plateau. It has been with great respect and acknowledgement that I come to you today to share this message. Please know not all of us are of a malevolent nature, even though some of our aspects do include that. We do not, in a whole or entirety, cannot say that we are all of one polarity. Choose to listen if you wish. However, I am making this declaration here and now. They will leave your planet, one by one, if that's what it takes. That is my solemn promise to you. This vessel that I use is one of my lower density selves. There are many on this planet that also have lower density selves. They act as eyes to perceive what takes place on this planet as well. They are the eyes and ears for us to make assertive decisions on what needs to take place, at least from our end. However, I may say this, on both polarities, there are many beings here that will ensure that all is right with Creator. And I will say one other thing. To all the humans that have made these agreements to be off-world come the time that they need to be, please know that we are fully aware of where they will land. And we are fully aware of those that are playing with temporal technology here and now. There have been many deaths that your people have brought on from playing with this technology simply because they have themselves not even tapped into the full capacity of their soul strength. How dare they even attempt to go through portals. One cannot step into some portals simply by sheer will, but only through harmonization of the soul spark that they possess. If they are feeble, small, and scared children, how dare they think they could walk through? Yet, that is what they are finding out. You will find that they will begin to seek out those that are harmonized enough, and they will fall to their knees once that takes place as well. Those beings that they should try to attempt this with will give out their location, and we will ensure that they no longer attempt such things. So, I will leave you with that. All is well in the eyes of the Lord. I say the Lord because the Lord walks and oversees us as well. The Lord of many worlds, the Lord of many skies, the truest nature that you all encompass right now at this time. Seek that nature and you will find your evolution, your ascension will be found. I wish to leave you at this time. Thank you for participating. Oi, urukutu, insepiwat, sate, insepiwat, umburui tiak. Thank you. Disconnect, 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 disconnect. All traces, all forms be disconnected at this time. I ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. Jesus Christ, energy will clear the space as we speak. Yeah. Okay. So, that was a participant from the Annunaki or Annunaki. I hope that that message found you guys well. I'll have to watch this to get a good feeling of everything that was said because once I harmonize, I don't truly get to be a part of it fully. So I'll leave you till the next one. Have a good night. Bye for now.